How's it going, everyone? We're here to check out what the big update this month has brought, and with this update we've had a lot of new stuff. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it. So you're going to notice a few changes in Outpost. There's going to be more recyclers now, as well as some changes to safe zones. You can no longer actually draw a weapon in a safe zone. So actually, let's go ahead, we'll do that, and we'll talk about that here more in a second. You'll also notice that there's a vehicles extra store included now. This is where you'll buy your highest quality vehicle parts. You can see for 75, 120, 75, 75, and 120 for the different parts right there. And yeah, that's pretty much the changes there to Outpost. Now, there is going to be a big change. Like I said, you can no longer draw a weapon. And as you can see, I'm trying to select my weapon. It's not pulling out my hands. And that's because Bandit Town is now a full safe zone. So you can no longer kind of sneaky kill people. You can also no longer pull out a weapon and DB somebody that's at a recycler. So yeah, that's kind of a really big change right there. They've also done a lot of stuff to increase the zone around here, also hoping to prevent SAM site griefing and some other stuff like that. But yeah, safe zones have seen quite a change. Now, there is also a thing that will show you if you are hostile to the actual safe zone. So if we go over here and we pull out our gun, and let's see, do I only have to? Yeah, you'll see. Oh, yep, see, they went nasty. And you'll see up in the top right hand, there's the little target symbol. And as long as that guy's there, that means you're considered hostile, and it will take, you know, that time for them to peace out and stop being mad at you. Alright, so once your time is back up, you'll see it's no longer up there in the corner, and I can now walk around in here just fine. So, well, what's the big deal about that? Why did this become a safe zone? Well, that's because helicopters have finally been implemented the way that the team meant to. They were never meant to just be laying around the map, and neither are any vehicles. So I don't know if cars will remain spawning around the world like they are, or eventually there'll be a car shop. But they did mention in the dev blog that boats and horses will eventually have a place like this Airwolf vendor, where you'll have to purchase them as well. That's something coming eventually in the future, however. So let's go here. There's a whole new area. It's got a little, you know, whole walled off section. And this is the Airwolf store. Now we've got the main vendor right here. And then you've actually got a car parts vendor over here. So if you actually head around back and go up, you can talk to this guy. You'll see this is where you can get your medium quality car parts. And of course you can pick up the car lift here or Outpost. Either, same cost, both places. So this is where you're going to get your helicopters. And you can go ahead and talk to this guy. Hello, welcome to Airwolf. And you'll see this is kind of like a little RPG kind of menu. And there's actually a recent interview that Helk did with PC Gamer. And he said, expect some more RPG kind of elements coming into the folds of Rust here in the near future. So he said, you know, that's something different that people are going to either love or hate kind of thing. So we'll have to see what that means, but that is something that we'll see in the future. So let's go explain how this works. So you can say you're just browsing, which kicks you out of the menu, or you can say you'd like to buy a heli from him. So then you can choose to get a minicopter or transport helicopter. Minicopter is going to cost you $750. And then if you want the scrap, come on, you're looking at $250. $1250, sorry. Now, these could completely change. We'll just have to see how that goes. Now, okay, a lot of worries. People are going to say, well, okay, no one can DB me, but what stops them from taking the helicopter? And that is the fuel, and the copter itself is locked for a 2-minute grace period for you. So only the person who purchased it can get in there. Now that also means that nobody on your team can drive it until you've left as well. Now that also means after 2 minutes, if you do not claim your helicopter, it will be reclaimed and you lose your scrap. So make sure you don't dilly-dally or, you know, take too long. But once that's ready, it always comes with a little bit of fuel, about 100 in there. You can just jump straight on into your helicopter and take on off. So, yeah, there's definitely going to be some people who find ways to abuse this. The team, of course, is going to be completely keeping an eye out to see what they can do to prevent, you know, griefing and other stuff like that. So we'll just have to see how that goes there. Let me out of the heli. Goodbye, helicopter. Oh wow, it didn't even blow up. That's amazing. So just to, you know, show everything working, we'll come back down here and we'll buy a mini copter. Buy a mini. Sure. Thank you. Boom, and see, here's your mini. Same thing, cannot access the fuel or anything unless you are the purchaser for that 2-minute time frame. And then you can take off on your mini copter. So yeah, this is definitely a big change. Again, everything could still be balanced further, but it looks for now this is going to be the testing. There is no limit as to how many, there it goes, how many copters can be bought right now, but we'll just have to see how that goes. It might be something that changes soon. Again, another thing we'll just have to kind of see how that goes. It's really all up to how balanced it feels and how well it all kind of works out. And that's going to really determine what it changes with. Now, the other thing people are going to say, well, now they're so expensive. I mean, they decay so quickly, blah, 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 blah. Well, the nice thing is, I believe, let me double check right here. I believe Hulk actually increased it to 36 hours for the helis before they decay when they are inside. So that's actually quite a buff right there. So as long as you've got your heli protected and inside, you've got 36 real hours. So I think that's actually pretty nice. That's a decent amount. And then I believe when they are outside, it is 12 hours, I want to say. Something like that. I want to say, yeah, I believe it's going to be 12 hours. So that's definitely some interesting changes. Definitely going to be, you know, a change to the meta, but it's a nice thing. You can't just grab a mini copter on the street and take off. So we'll have to just roll with it and see how this changes the game. Alright, another change here is with the wooden high gate. You'll see the model changed up quite a bit. It looks very different. Also, the gaps have pretty much disappeared, so that kind of changes things. Or at least they've changed. And then there's also a little nook for the code lock, so you no longer have that weird kind of code lock floating around glitch thing going on. Definitely very nice. Barbed wire should be damaging properly again as well, which is great. So let's take a look at the big thing, modular cars. That's the main thing this update. So what does that mean? What's a modular car? Well, it basically means you can start out with just a car chassis and you can change out all these different module pieces to change up what the car itself actually functions as, how it works, etc., etc. Now, with the decay on this, I believe the cars are going to be the same as the minicopters and helicopters. I think this is overall for all vehicles. If they are inside, it's 36 hours. If they're not, it's 8. So yeah, I did say 12 a second ago. I think it's 8. So let's just go with that. So we have a lot of new pieces integrated here. So let's go ahead and start off. Where do you get the car? Well, as you go around the world, we'll go ahead and fly over to, let's see, the nearest road, which we got over here. Just like mini copters used to and horses and boats still do, they kind of just spawn randomly around the world. So you'll see right here, they're usually near the road, there'll be a car and they're messed up. And they're usually in a bad state of some sort. So you're going to need to have fuel on you. You're going to need to have metal fragments, wood, or high qual to repair. Usually just metal fragments and wood. So you'll see right here, a little bit of high qual used for there. Metal frags, wood, high qual, metal frags, wood, high qual. So you'll see the car starts to, you know, turn back into more of a car. But then you're not quite done yet. You're going to need some engine pieces. So if we go ahead and actually put fuel into this puppy here, and we get in, nope, not going to work. Sometimes they're in a weird angle, so you got to push them. Come on, push, push. There we go. Should be able to jump in now. You'll notice car doesn't start up, and that's because you're going to need some engine parts. So every engine is going to need some sort of the parts going on. So you're going to actually have to get these puppies in there. Once you do, the engine's now functional. It doesn't have to be high quality. It can be low or medium quality. It can be a mix of them. It doesn't matter. But once you've got that in, you can now drive off. in your vehicle, all right? So once you have your vehicle, you're gonna take it home and you wanna take it to a car lift, which again, you can buy at either Outpost or Bandit or find in green boxes. So once you've got your car roughly on there, you can pop out and it will automatically kind of like pop into there. Now, as long as this thing has power connected to it, which you can see we connected right here, the power required for this guy is, let's take a look here, lift, woo, woo. There it is. And you'll see that this, oh, it doesn't show you unless you have it in your actual inventory. So let's go ahead and actually grab one. Boom. So there you go. Yeah, one power is all it's going to require. But it does actually seem to require more to lift. So I'm not entirely sure. It's a little bit weird. But yeah, anyways, once you've got it in the lift here, you can go ahead and work on the car. You can go ahead and work on the car. So now you can go ahead and access the lift, but you'll notice that this piece is all like being weird and messed up, right? And that's because we have to empty it. So you're actually gonna go in here and you have to take out any engine components. And then you'll see we jump back on here and now it can be taken off. And then you'll see this one also isn't. And that's because we've got fuel back here. So let's pull the fuel out. And boom. Okay, so now we can go ahead and take all the modules off. Oh, and that's because this was I thought this was 2 truck beds. It's a single truck bed. So there you go. Here's kind of what the chassis looks like. So this is a 4 chassis. Then there's also a 3 and a little itty bitty 2. So there you go. You got your, you know, basic kind of idea what to look for here. So once you've got your chassis set up, there's the various different pieces. So let's go over the engine components first. Like I said, they come in a low quality, a medium quality, and a high quality. The high quality can only be purchased from Outpost and cannot be crafted. The medium quality can be purchased from Bandit Town or Found and can be researched for 125 scrap each. And then the low engine parts can be researched for 75 and are found out around in the world as well. Then all of the different modules will also cost you 125 scrap to learn each. They're all learnable, and same thing for the car lift right here. So that's kind of your research costs on everything. Let's go ahead and then, oops, wrong button there. Take a look at the actual crafting. So we're gonna go to other here, and you'll see that the low quality car parts tend to, I believe they're all gonna run you, yeah, 2 high qual. Then you're looking at 5 for the medium pieces. And then when we got to the modules here, we're looking at metal frags, high qual and wood. So 255 and 100, 250 and 10, 258 and 100, 250 and 5, 255 and 100, 255 and 100, 255 and 250. Then we're looking at 405 and 250, 405 and 100, and 505 and 250. So pretty much metal, wood, and high quals is what it's gonna cost you for all these different pieces pretty much right here. So that's all the kind of basics on the cost and crafting of these guys. So let's go ahead and actually take a look at the functionality. So let's dump out some of the stuff we don't need. Goodbye. Goodbye. And the way you find the modules obviously is from finding cars, bringing them home, stripping the modules off, and learning them in the research bench. So we'll grab one of each module here, just so we can show them to you. So we're gonna pop in here, and of course you've got several engine options. So there's a cockpit with an engine. This is the most basic engine you're gonna get. This requires one of each of the components to function, and it isn't quite as fast as, say, the other, you know, individual engine there. So we'll go ahead and pull this one off. Then you've also got just a cockpit right here, and you'll see this one is without an engine. So you have to actually kind of pay attention. The cockpits always have a wheel for someone to drive, but they might not always have an engine. So that's something you kind of want to pay attention to there. And then the other engine piece is going to be the physical engine. When you drop that guy on, you'll see it does have a little more kick to it. Instead of 70, it is 95. and it also does require one extra spark plug for a total of 2. You'll also need two valves as well as 2 pistons, but you only need the 1 carburetor and crankshaft, as you can see. So that's kind of like the basics of those. So we already saw like the basic cab. You can throw on an armored cab. This guy has a little view range right here for the driver, and then it also has little windows that you can open on either side as well, which is quite cool. Then we'll pop this one off. You've got some rear seats, so these would actually probably go right there. So we'll just leave on the armored cab, let's say. So then you've got the rear seat module, which is going to add in 2 extra seats, and then we've got the party bus. And this guy actually adds in 6 seats. Look at that. But they are pretty exposed in there, so that is something you kind of want to keep in mind. Now, you aren't limited to only one of each type of module, so, you know, technically we could add, let's see, you know, this guy, and then we could do 2 storage modules on the back or something. So you can do, you know, any combination you want. You can put the driver's seat at the back, you can put the engine at the back. I mean, you can pretty much do anything with it. Now, the way the storage modules work is you'll see you have quite a bit of storage space in them, and as long as you lock the car, these will be locked to whoever has the car key, which we will talk about the car key here in a second. So besides all these, there's also the single truck bed, the double truck bed, and the fluid tank. Now, this thing right now, you can go ahead and put water and so forth into it, but eventually we'll also be able to put fuel in it. Right now, fuel isn't considered a liquid as of yet in the game, so that's something they have to go ahead and code into it. But once they do that, I believe low-grade and crude will be able to be transported as well, which is what the intent is. So that is, you know, something that, I mean, if you want to get a lot of water around, that's cool, but, you know, it'll probably have a better use a little bit later on. But anyways, like I said, you can put these things wherever you want. So look, we put the wheel back there, and then let's put, I don't know, that, and then a storage container. I mean, you can do whatever you want with the cars. And then, of course, it has the parented movement, just like the other vehicles, so someone can stand in the truck bed and shoot while you're driving around. It just all depends how, you know, good your driver actually is. So yeah, that's basically how the car system works. Let's go over locking. So once you get into here, it'll say the car doesn't have locks, so you want to add a lock. This will put a key into your inventory. Each key has its own unique ID, but you can also add a note to name it. So, you know, we can do car 1. Then you can just click away into your inventory, and you should see the key now says car 1 on it. This is also something you can do with regular keys now. So if you actually just go ahead and grab a door key, you'll notice you can also now name door keys, you know, back door or something like that. And so there you go. So that's a cool little feature added in addition to that. So now that there's an actual lock on it, only people with the key can access it. So you'll see right now we can get in, right? Oop, wrong button. Hello. Now if we drop the key on the floor, locked, can't access anything. We'll pick it back up again. Once you jump in, you'll notice there's a use option, and you can actually toggle. If it's on green, anyone can get in. If it's on red, only people with a key. So it's definitely a nice little system, and I think it works quite well. Also, you can jack vehicles from people. If you go ahead and see a locked car, you can actually push it. So let's go ahead and drop our key. And yeah, you can actually, whoops, that's, where'd our key go? Well, I don't know what happened there. But one way or another, you can actually push a car and then get it to a car lift and remove a lock from it, and then it will become yours along with whatever was in it and on it. Or you can get the main compartment down below 15% of its health, which at that point it will give you a unlocking option, which I thought is quite nice. So you'll see right now it says locked. Let's go ahead and we're gonna wear this guy down real quick. All right, we should be pretty close here. So it still says locked, right? And then destroy lock. So now you can do that, and you can say destroy lock, and boom, you can pull the lock off and take the vehicle for yourself. Next question people are probably going to have is damage. So if you look, most of the components have about 300 or so-ish around health. The armored cockpit has 7, which is quite a bit, and you'll see the storage is just below at 275. So yeah, they're all going to kind of range in the 350, 360 range. So, you know, what's a rocket do to it? You'll see rocket pretty much damages this guy pretty bad there. That is a pretty good hit. So we can't repair this guy right now. Let's go ahead and jump over to this one. Make sure it's fully repaired nicely. And let's change our rocket over to a HV, and let's see if with aircraft, if the HV does more damage as well. So we're gonna hit it with that HV, and you'll see the HV actually completely wrecked it. So once a car is in a wrecked form, you can push it around to move it, but you can no longer repair it or anything. It becomes scrap, and as soon as the fire goes out, you can actually harvest it with a tool to go ahead and get back some of the materials. So if you do see car wrecks, you can actually harvest them for some little materials here and there. Let's see, are you ready to be repaired? All right, there it is. Boom, so we got that guy back up to full. Let's go ahead and hit it with an ensign. So we're gonna take a direct hit to the front. There it goes. And you'll see the ensign didn't do a whole lot of damage to it, really. Yeah, there you go. So it's, you know, if it's sitting in the fire, it's gonna take some damage. Let's see if we can get to spread. Ooh, maybe not. Okay, looks like fire damage on the vehicle maybe isn't. I don't know if we spread it enough. There we go, it's on. Yeah, alright. Looks like fire damage isn't quite working. That could just be because I'm on staging. We'll just have to see. But that pretty much covers the update, guys. It's gonna be a big one. I hope you all enjoy checking it out. I know I'm gonna be, because I've been stoked and waiting for this to show up. So this is definitely going to be a really cool thing. Happus is getting updated too to have the Airwolf vendor. So if you're worried about if that's going to be on Happus, it is. And then lastly, there's been teased for a summer DLC. We'll probably have some more information on the 9th for you there. But it looks like we're seeing things like boogie boards, a life ring. With this picture here, you can see the swimming pool. You can see some beach towels, a lawn chair, or I should say a lounge chair or sunning chair with an umbrella. And over in the corner on the left-hand side, looks like they got something else they're doing over there. I don't know if that's just a weird piece of a monument or if that's something else, but definitely looks really cool. I can't wait to see what they're doing with that. Squirt guns, sunglasses, and summer fun. So you guys all have a great wipe. Thanks for watching.